In India, a woman is raped every 16 minutes. This statistic is not just a number, it represents a horrifying reality that countless women face daily. Imagine the fear, the trauma, and the lifelong scars that come with such an ordeal. Let that sink in for a moment. Every 16 minutes, somewhere in this vast country, a woman is subjected to an act of unimaginable violence. This isn't just a fleeting news headline, it's a persistent and pervasive issue that demands our attention and action. Every 16 minutes, a life is shattered, a family is torn apart, and a community is left reeling in fear and despair. The ripple effects of such violence extend far beyond the immediate victim, affecting everyone around her. Friends, family, and even entire communities are left to grapple with the aftermath. This chilling statistic isn't just a number, it's a deafening alarm bell, a stark reminder of the pervasive and brutal reality of gender-based violence that plagues our society. It's a call to action, urging us to confront and combat this epidemic with unwavering determination. The recent incident in Kolkata, where a young woman was brutally assaulted by a group of 10 men, is not an isolated event. It is a glaring example of the dangers that women face every day, simply for existing in a world that often views them as lesser beings. It's a horrific symptom of a deeply rooted societal illness that treats women as objects, their safety and dignity dispensable. This mindset is perpetuated by cultural norms, systemic failures, and a lack of accountability for perpetrators. This incident has shaken the conscience of the nation, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truth about the vulnerability of women in our cities. It is a wake-up call, a moment of reckoning that demands we take a stand against this pervasive violence. We must work together to create a society where women can live without fear, where their rights are respected, and where justice is served swiftly and fairly. Only then can we hope to change this shocking reality. Kolkata, the city of joy, recently became a scene of unimaginable horror. A young woman walking home after a late work shift was brutally attacked by 10 men. This wasn't just an assault. It was a vicious, calculated act of violence that stripped the victim of her dignity and left her physically and emotionally scarred. The incident, which took place in a busy marketplace, has sent shockwaves throughout the city and beyond. It has exposed the fragility of safety, especially for women in our urban spaces. The question on everyone's mind, if this could happen in a crowded marketplace, could it happen anywhere? The fear of violence, particularly sexual violence, is a constant companion for many women in urban areas. We calculate risks with every step, every glance, every interaction. We are constantly on guard, our senses heightened, our minds racing through worst-case scenarios. This fear limits our freedom, our choices, and our very existence. It dictates where we go, when we go, and who we go with. It forces us to shrink ourselves, to make ourselves smaller, to be less visible, all in the hope of avoiding becoming another statistic. The Kolkata incident unfolded on a seemingly ordinary Wednesday evening. The victim, a 28-year-old woman named Priya, name changed to protect identity, was walking home from her job at a call center. Around 11 p.m., as she neared a crowded marketplace, a group of men began to harass her. When Priya tried to ignore them and walk away, the harassment escalated into physical assault. The men, emboldened by their numbers and the late hour, dragged Priya to a secluded alleyway where they brutally beat and raped her for hours. Section 5, I could hear her screams. Witness accounts paint a grim picture. Eyewitnesses recall hearing Dr. Priya's desperate screams piercing the night, but fear paralyzed them. Shopkeepers in the vicinity admitted to witnessing the commotion but hesitated to intervene, fearing for their own safety. One shopkeeper, speaking on the condition of anonymity, shared, "I could hear her screams, but I was afraid. There were so many of them. What could I have done?" His words, laced with guilt and helplessness, reflect the chilling reality of a society grappling with fear and apathy in the face of violence. Section 6. A mother's worst nightmare, the emotional epicenter. Priya's mother, a frail woman with worry etched deep into her features, sat by her daughter's hospital bed, her hand clutching Priya's. Her silence spoke volumes. The pain in her eyes, the tremor in her touch reflected the raw, visceral fear that every parent, every sibling, every friend of a woman carries within them. The brutal assault on Priya wasn't just a physical attack. It was an assault on her family, her community, and every single person who believes in a just and equitable society. Section 7. Where were the protectors? A critical look at law enforcement's response. Following the incident, the police response was slow and inadequate. Precious hours were lost in filing the FIRAR, and the investigation seemed sluggish at best. This lackadaisical attitude towards such a heinous crime is simply unacceptable. The police force is meant to protect and serve, yet their delayed response in this case raises serious questions about their commitment to ensuring women's safety. This incident underscores the urgent need for police reforms, sensitizing officers to gender-based violence, and ensuring swift and decisive action against perpetrators. Section 8. Social media erupts, outrage and demands for justice. As news of the Kolkata assault spread, social media platforms erupted in outrage. Hashtags like #JusticeForPriya and #KolkataWomen'sSafety trended nationwide, with citizens expressing their anger, frustration and demanding swift action against the perpetrators. Celebrities, activists and politicians joined the chorus, condemning the incident and calling for stricter laws and swifter justice. The incident sparked a nationwide debate on women's safety, highlighting the urgent need for a multi-pronged approach to tackle this deeply ingrained societal issue. Section 9. Beyond statistics. This is about real lives. While statistics paint a grim picture of gender-based violence in India, it's crucial to remember that behind each number is a real person with a name, a family, dreams and aspirations. These are mothers, daughters, sisters, friends, their lives forever altered, their spirits scarred by the trauma they have endured. Priya's story is not just another headline, it's a stark reminder that we are failing our women. We are failing to create a society where they feel safe, respected and empowered. This incident must serve as a wake-up call for all of us. Section 10. Breaking the silence. A call for collective action. In a world where injustice often goes unchecked, it is imperative that we, as a collective, rise to the occasion. We can no longer afford to be bystanders in the face of such brutality. The time has come for us to unite, to amplify our voices, and to stand in solidarity with those who suffer. It's time for each one of us to step up, to break the silence, and to demand better for our women. We must challenge the status quo and push for meaningful change. This isn't just a women's issue, it's a societal issue that requires a collective effort to address. We need stricter laws, swifter justice, and a commitment to holding perpetrators accountable, and a change in societal attitudes towards women. Education is key, and it starts with our youth. We need to educate our boys and men about respect, empathy, and the importance of treating everyone with dignity, consent, and equality. These values must be ingrained in our culture from a young age. We need to create a culture where women are not afraid to walk the streets, where they feel safe and empowered in every aspect of their lives, to live their lives to the fullest, without fear of violence. Together we can build a future where equality and justice are not just ideals, but realities for all. Section 11. Building a safer tomorrow. It starts with us. The journey towards a safer and more equitable society for women is a long and arduous one, but it's a journey we must undertake together. Every step we take, no matter how small, contributes to a larger movement that seeks to dismantle the barriers women face daily. It begins with each one of us challenging the status quo, questioning discriminatory norms, and refusing to accept the injustices that have been normalized for far too long. By raising our voices against injustice, we amplify the cries for change and make it impossible for those in power to ignore our demands. Let Priya's story be a catalyst for change. Her courage to speak out is a beacon of hope, inspiring others to share their experiences and join the fight for justice. Let's pledge to create a society where every woman can walk freely without fear, and where safety is not a privilege, but a fundamental right. In this envisioned society, women will live a life of dignity and respect, free from the shadows of violence and discrimination. Let's build a future where incidents like the Kolkata assault become a relic of the past, a distant memory that serves as a testament to how far we've come. Together, we can transform these grim reminders of our collective failure into stories of triumph and resilience, celebrating each victory, no matter how small, as a step towards a brighter, safer tomorrow.